I couldn't believe it for like a really long time. It took quite a bit for me to take it all in, but it was an, it was like a priceless experience.
When I started taking lectures, I remember it used to be really strange because everybody would look at me and say, "Oh, a girl has come to teach us." It's been a mixture of feelings. Now I think they're finally warming up to me.
जब खुद को कमजोर समझेंगे ना तो सब कमजोर समझेंगे और उनको दबाते चले जाएंगे, रोते चले जाएंगे। पहले खुद को बोल्ड बना लो, लोग कुछ भी कहेंगे पर जब तुम एक टाइम पे अचीव कर लोगे कुछ चीज तो फिर कोई कुछ कहने वाला नहीं है।
Hey there guys, thank you for tuning in. You are all with me on Table Talk, another day, another episode. Today we're speaking about empowering women. Another guest who you may find inspiring. We're looking at some young achievers. She is only 14 years old, but she is considered the next big thing in Indian sports. Anahat Singh, the first and the only woman lifeguard instructor in the country. She joins me from Goa, also joining me. Anjum. Quick reminder, do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel Jyotsna Mohan, and looking to see what they have achieved in a very short span of life. So firstly, congratulations for winning the British Open, and it's the second time you won that. What does it mean for you, this victory?
It's a really big tournament, like one of the biggest international tournaments, and something a lot of players train for at the end of the year. So I'm really excited to have won it after it didn't take place in the middle for 2 years because of COVID. So I'm really excited to have won it.
The last 2 years, you just mentioned it happened after COVID. A lot of things got stopped. We understand that, right? But did it affect your training as well?
Yeah, it did a bit, but during COVID we made a makeshift court at home and I trained a little bit with my sister and she helped out a lot during COVID as well.
Is it good to be back physically for all these tournaments? Does it excite you, or do you still get nervous before the tournaments?
I love traveling for tournaments, and in general I love traveling for international tournaments, Indian tournaments. I love meeting my friends and it's something I always look forward to.
Youngest Indian athlete at the Commonwealth Games. What was that experience like for you?
I couldn't believe it for like a really long time. It took quite a bit for me to take it all in, but it was like a priceless experience, something which like it happens once in 4 years, and the fact that I got to experience it at such a young age with like so many of the best athletes in India, it was amazing.
But tell me, I'm just a little bit curious because I'm also the mother to a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old, so I know their agendas in life. But how did you fit into all these athletes who are obviously much older than you? Did they look out for you? How did you manage to pass your time in the Commonwealth Village?
It went by really fast. I didn't expect it to, but it did. They were all really sweet and really welcoming, and I had a lot of fun over there. At first, I thought I wouldn't exactly fit in because, like you said, they're a lot older than me, and yeah, I didn't think I would, but it was really easy to, and I interacted quite a bit with them and learned so many things. It's like a totally different tournament, like the idea of living in a village and like the whole setup and the environment is like totally different, and I was really excited to have experienced it because I'd seen it on TV and like seen other athletes post about it, and the fact that I got to be there and actually experience it live in person, it was unbelievable.
I want to really ask you, how did you pick up the sport? It's not it's not one of the conventional sports that anybody thinks of picking up or pursuing till the end. I mean, I know a lot of people who play squash, but they play it just till school level, college level to get admission into universities. So, and you're obviously taking this right through. So, how did you pick it up?
I played badminton at the national level for 2 years.
Oh, nice.
And at that time my sister Mira used to play squash, and I used to travel with her for a few tournaments, and in the middle during the transition years I was playing both squash and badminton tournaments for like a year and a half. But obviously if I wanted to pursue the sport further, I couldn't do both sports at the same time, so I decided to take up sport.
At what age did you decide that this is the one sport now I'm going to pursue very seriously?
8, I think.
And what is your training been like since then? I mean, How many hours do you train every day?
Maybe 2 to 3 hours, not more than that because I have school as well. So maybe after school once or before school once, but not more than 2 3 hours.
How do you balance school and this and your training and your traveling, actually, more than
My
that?
school is very, very supportive. Anytime I miss out on any exams, any tests, or any work in general, they always help me catch up. And even my friends, like anytime I tell them I'm going out for the tournament, they'll help me out and tell me what all I missed out on. Like even for Commonwealth, I missed out for a month of school, and as soon as I came back, it was really easy to like catch up on everything.
Tell me something, you're just 14. Okay, it's hard to forget that given how well you're doing and how much you've accomplished. People around you, children around you are all, that they're in a different level. They're doing what teenagers do, play, work, study. How do you balance that out for yourself? Do you, you train, do you get time from your training to hang with them, or is it only when you're off training that you hang with them? How do you balance out, and how does your family balance it out for you?
During school time, I always get to like meet my friends, and like even during tournaments, like as soon as my like matches are over, I like go and spend time with my friends. Like I refuse to rest, and I feel like I'm not a person who like not socialize because I love spending time with my friends. It's something that I like to do to switch off from playing if I'm having like really hard sessions or if I had a hard tournament. So I feel like it's quite easy to like switch off from that.
So, what do you do in your free time? What is it that you like to do?
Right now, I've only been studying because, like you said, we're going into like higher grades, so I have to start studying quite a bit now. But I also love to like paint and play the piano as well, and like spend time with my family and friends is one of the main things I love to do.
Do you like to be on social media? Are you, do you spend a lot of time? Would you like to spend a lot of time on it?
I do. Yeah, I do spend quite a bit of time, but I try to restrict it as much as I can.
Do you get any downtime, or do you immediately go
No,
back into training?
After British Open, I took around like a week's rest where I didn't play, and I was like catching up on all my schoolwork. And like after like huge big tournaments, I normally take at least 5 to 6 days rest just for me to like come back and train even harder.
So I was reading that your whole family has been in a way into sports. Is that correct?
Yeah, my sister, she plays squash, and my parents were also hockey players in college.
So do you all discuss like a lot of sports at home, or is it only about squash right now?
We don't even talk about squash too much. We just generally talk about life. We after my squash session gets over, I like to try and like switch off from it so that like everything isn't like squash. Otherwise, it gets like too much, and someone can get like setting them out too much. It gets too heavy.
Once you have a tournament that's coming closer, what does your training schedule increase? Do you train a little bit more? How does your schedule change a little bit, or it remains
stays the same?
consistent?
Like I try to keep it consistent. Like even through the other days, it's not too much or it's not even too less either. So it's like the perfect amount of training, like according to what I've been doing for the past really long.
I want to speak a little bit about your game, Anahat. What do you think is your advantage or your strong points, and what do you think that you need to work on still?
Maybe a lot of people have been saying that my movement is good, like I'm fast on the court, I think. And something I need to work on is that I don't have enough strength as all the other players do. Like not able to hit the ball as hard, or they don't have enough power. I think that's something I need to work a lot on.
I think, as squash, do you think there's, a lot of awareness about the sport around you?
No, I don't even think that many people know about squash. Like, after I had gone to the Commonwealth and my parents would tell their friends about it, they'd be like, oh, I've never heard of that sport, what is it? So, like, most of the people, they don't know squash even exists. And it's in India mainly, there's not a lot of people who know about squash.
Slowly, I think it's going to catch up. You're doing a wonderful job of, promoting it. in the country? Do you feel like, you're like this young ambassador? Do you feel like you're young, you're doing well? Any pressure that comes with it?
Not pressure, I wouldn't say that. Like, I mean, there has been a lot of attention after Commonwealth, and it has taken quite some time to get used to, but I wouldn't say that.
What is it that you're really working on and hope to ace in a way?
I'm mainly working towards World Juniors, which will be around August. It's the biggest tournament for under 19 juniors. So it's mainly that which I'm training for. But it's not one specific tournament that I'm like working towards, because it's like there'll be a lot of tournaments all over the place. Every month there's a different tournament. So I'm just working towards everything generally.
And now that your season is going to pick up in a sense, as you're saying, and all that traveling, do you get to spend time with your family?
My parents are always there, so them, yes. But like I don't get to meet my cousins and my other friends and all too much, because I'm always traveling. But when I do get the chance to, I do.
Do you think you're juggling it? You've got the right balance in juggling the teenage life with the life of a champion athlete?
I think so, because I like spending time with my friends. I wouldn't be able to survive if I wasn't like spending time with them or like hanging out with them.
Wishing you really all the very best, and you're doing a remarkable work. आप मुझे बताइए, तो आप how did you get involved?
आज से 5 साल पहले मैं यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन लिया था, मैं लॉ स्टूडेंट। तो उस टाइम पे मैं बहुत डरी सहमी सी लड़की थी जो सोशल मीडिया से बहुत डरती थी, बिकॉज मेरे पेरेंट्स बिल्कुल अलाउ नहीं करते थे, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे ये था कि अगर सोशल मीडिया पे फोटो डाल दिया तो कोई फेस कट करके न्यूड फोटोज में एडिट करके ऐसे ऐसे वायरल करते थे, तो उससे बहुत खौफ था। तो उस टाइम पे मैं एक फेक अकाउंट यूज करती थी, आरोही शर्मा नाम से। आई एम मोमडन, बट मैं हिंदू नाम यूज करती थी, और जिससे मेरा खुद का तो प्रोफाइल था ही नहीं। मैं इतना फोटो कट के नीचे से लगा दिया या फिर किसी गूगल से लेके लड़की का लगा दिया ऐसे, क्योंकि मन था, क्यूरियोसिटी थी कि सोशल मीडिया पे क्या होता है। चलानी भी थी और फैमिली से भी डर था, नहीं फैमिली को पता चलेगा तो डांट पड़ेगी, और बहुत लेवल की पढ़ने वाली थी, इतना मुझे पता था। तो उसके बाद सेल्फी विद डॉटर से जुड़े, तो उन्होंने हमें मतलब ऐसा आश्वासन दिया और मेरी फैमिली को मतलब ऐसे मोटिवेट किया कि सोशल मीडिया से क्या होगा, अगर हम रियल अकाउंट बनाएंगे रियल नेम से या फिर रियल फेस से बनाएंगे तो क्या होगा। तो उस टाइम पे मेरे पापा का जवाब ये था, नहीं बिल्कुल अलाउ नहीं करेंगे। हाँ, हम एनजीओ से जोड़ सकते हैं बट अलाउ नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि लड़की का मामला है, आगे चल के बहुत दिक्कतें आती हैं, बहुत मसले होते हैं, और कोई शादी नहीं करेगा, लड़कियां ऐसे फेमस हो जाती हैं, फेस कट के कहीं और लगा दिया तो हमारी तो बदनामी हो जाएगी, लाइक दैट। ऐसे ऐसे मुझे कमेंट्स मिले थे, और मुझे पता था ये बिल्कुल नहीं होने वाला कि मैं सोशल मीडिया यूज करूंगी, क्योंकि मुझे पता था मेरे फैमिली बैकग्राउंड बिल्कुल ऐसा अलाउ नहीं करता है ना। मेवात में एक कल्चर है कि लड़कियां फेसबुक या इंस्टाग्राम जो भी सोशल नेटवर्क है वो यूज भी करें, इवन फोन तक भी यूज नहीं करती थी। तो उसके बाद जब धीरे धीरे हम सेल्फी विद डॉटर से जुड़े, सर से मतलब काउंसलिंग्स हुई, मीटिंग्स हुई, आगे बढ़े, मतलब बोल्डनेस आई कि सोशल मीडिया अच्छा, चलो जो करने वाला होगा गलत वो तो तब भी करेगा अगर हम नहीं भी यूज करेंगे, क्योंकि करने वाले तो तब भी करते ही है मैम। फिर हमने यूज किया, स्टार्टिंग में फर्स्ट प्रोफाइल लगाई, वो भी ऐसी थी कि ब्लर थी, मतलब पब्लिक के साथ थी, उसमें 2-4 लोग और भी थे, इंडिविजुअल तब भी नहीं लगा पाई थी। तो मुझे बहुत ताने मिले थे समाज की तरफ से, बहुत ज्यादा, इवन मेरे पेरेंट्स ने भी, सबने बहुत डांटा कि ये क्या है, क्या होगा, किसने ऐसा कर दिया, तो गूगल पे डाल दिया, तो यूट्यूब पे वीडियो डाल दी, तो ऐसे गंदा गाना लगा दिया तो क्या होगा। तो मैंने बोला चलो देखते हैं क्या होता है, ठीक है। उस टाइम पे थे ही नहीं, इतने मैच्योर नहीं थे। फिर धीरे धीरे करके जब हमने प्रोफाइल डालते गए, उस पे मतलब ऐसी चीजें डाली, वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट की डाली, सेल्फी विद डॉटर की, जितने भी कैंपेनिंग चले वो ऑफिशियल अकाउंट हमने बनाया। तो उसके बाद कुछ चीजें ऐसी भी हुई, जो हमने कैंपेनिंग चलाया था पीरियड चार्ट्स करके, तो उस पे डॉक्यूमेंट्री आई थी, उस पे कुछ लोगों ने बहुत गंदे कमेंट्स किए थे, बहुत ज्यादा, मतलब कि ये तो पीरियड्स वाली है, या फिर ये तो ये है वो है, फलाना ढिमकाना। तो मैंने उनको पर्सनली समझाया भी कि ऐसा मत करो, मैं तुम्हारी बहन जैसी हूँ। तो उन्होंने बोला बहन, हम तो तुम जैसी लड़कियों को बहन नहीं बनाते, सोशल नेटवर्क पे हमारी बहन नहीं होती है, ऐसी ऐसी चीजें आई। तो मैंने बोला क्यों सोशल नेटवर्क पे क्यों नहीं बहन होती, इससे तो नॉलेज मिलती है, तरक्की, मतलब देश इतना आगे बढ़ रहा है और तुम अपनी बहनों को फोन तक भी यूज नहीं करने देते। अगर फोन हो किसी के हाथ में तो उसके घर की दीवारें जो ऊंची करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, वो वैसे ही बिगड़ जाएगी, लाइक दैट। ये वाली चीजें थी। तो सारी चीजें फेस की धीरे धीरे करके हमने, समाज को अलग रख के आगे बढ़े, डाली पिक्चर, जो मन किया वो किया। फिर आज के टाइम पे ये हो गया है कि मेरे पेरेंट्स जो खुद हैं वो मेरी हर पोस्ट को शेयर करते हैं, हर पोस्ट पे कमेंट करते हैं, फैबुलस, मार्वलस, अमेजिंग लिखते हैं मेरे खुद के पेरेंट्स, जो कभी मुझे फेक अकाउंट से भी डांटते थे। तो ये सिर्फ सेल्फी विद डॉटर की वजह से हो पाया, अदरवाइज मैं ऐसी थी कि मैं आपके सामने भी ये बातें शेयर नहीं कर सकती थी। फेसबुक, इंस्टा, व्हाट्सएप, ट्विटर सब यूज करते हैं विद फैमिली परमिशन, और समाज के तो चलते रहते हैं ताने, उनको देखते रहते हैं, टॉलरेट करते रहते हैं।
तो आप मुझे बताइए अंजुम, मेवात में आपके साथ और भी लड़कियां होंगी अब जो सोशल मीडिया पे नहीं है, जो होना चाहती हैं, तो उनको आप कन्विंस करना चाहती हैं या वो उनकी कितनी दिक्कतें हैं कि वो नहीं कर पाती? कुछ मेरे साथ एक्सपीरियंस शेयर कर सकते हैं?
जी श्योर मैम। सबसे बड़ी बात तो मैम एजुकेशन है। अगर लड़की पढ़ेगी ना तभी तो वो फोन चलाना जानेगी या फिर सोशल मीडिया की पावर समझेगी, क्योंकि आज जो भी न्यूज है, न्यूज चैनल से पहले वो सोशल मीडिया पे आती है, जो भी करंट न्यूज होती है। मुझे सारी चीजें, मैं न्यूज चैनल नहीं खोलती हूँ, मुझे फेसबुक या इंस्टाग्राम से पता चल जाती है। एक तो मैं जिस जगह से बिलोंग करती हूँ वहाँ पे लिटरेसी रेट बहुत ज्यादा कम है, बहुत ज्यादा। मतलब एजुकेशन सिस्टम अभी थोड़ा इम्प्रूव होने लगा है, पहले नहीं था इतना। अभी लड़कियां पढ़ने लगी हैं, अभी पढ़ने लगी, मतलब स्टार्ट हुआ है। तो अगर पढ़ेंगे तभी तो फोन उनके पास होगा, अदरवाइज फोन तो ऐसी चीज है कि पापा का भी अगर लड़कियां ले लेती हैं फोन थोड़ी देर के लिए तो वो गलत ही वे में चला जाता है कि क्यों लिया है। ये वाला सीन है। हमने कभी 12th तक खुद ने फोन ये नहीं पता था कि गूगल कैसे यूज करते हैं, क्योंकि जब हम पढ़ेंगे ना हमें तभी चीजें आएंगी नॉलेज में कि ये भी चीजें होती हैं, ये भी होती हैं, ऐसे इस्तेमाल में कैसे होती है। तो सबसे पहले में एजुकेशन जरूरी है। हम पहले जब पोस्ट करते थे कुछ भी चीज तो बहुत डर लगता था कि स्क्रीनशॉट लेके लोग पेरेंट्स को भेज देते थे, या फिर मतलब कि तुम्हारी लड़की ये कर रही है। अच्छा, एक कमेंट मेरे लिए ये भी थी, मेरा नाम है अंजुम इस्लाम, पूरा नाम। तो मुझसे लोग कहते थे कि तुम्हें जो करना है करो, पर अपने नाम के पीछे से इस्लाम हटा दो, ये हमारे दीन के खिलाफ है या तौहीन है कि तुम्हारे नाम के पीछे इस्लाम है। तुम अंजुम रह के कुछ भी करो पर इस्लाम बन के कुछ मत करो। मैं कि ये क्या बात है, मेरे ग्रैंडफादर का नाम इस्लाम है, मैं क्यों नाम नहीं लगाऊं, और मेरी मर्जी है, जो मैं करना चाहूँ मैं करूंगी। तो कुछ चीजें ऐसी हुई कि स्क्रीनशॉट लेके डाल देते थे कि ये मतलब मेरे को ट्रोल करने की कोशिश की गई थी, कि डाल देते थे कि जब तक तू अपनी सर पे दुपट्टा नहीं डालेगी या फिर ऐसी वीडियोस बनानी बंद नहीं करेगी, हम इस पोस्ट को डिलीट नहीं करेंगे, हम ट्रोल करते रहेंगे और तुझे जो करना है करते रहे। तो ये चीजें ना मुझे, मतलब एक टाइम पे मैं डिप्रेशन में चली गई थी कि मतलब ऐसा कैसे यार, मैं किसी से जब कुछ लेना दे रही ना किसी का खा रही, मैं अपने घर में जैसे जो चाहूँ मैं कर सकती हूँ, और मेरे पेरेंट्स अलाउ कर रहे हैं, तो तुम कौन होते हो मुझसे कहने वाले, तुम होते कौन हो। ऑब्वियसली तो मेरा यही सिस्टम था। तो वो नहीं माने कि नहीं, जब तक तू नहीं सुधरेगी, मतलब सुधरना दैट मीन्स कि मैं बिगड़ी हुई थी, तब तक तू नहीं सुधरेगी, हम तुझे ट्रोल करते रहेंगे, हम नहीं मानेंगे। और ये पोस्ट तब तक डिलीट नहीं होगी जब तक कि तू हमसे माफी मांग के अपनी ये जो वीडियोस हैं या फोटोज हैं जो तू बिना दुपट्टे के डालती है व्हाटएवर, जब तक ये डिलीट नहीं कर देगी। तो मैं तो डिलीट नहीं करने वाली थी, मुझे जिद चढ़ के आ गई थी। मैंने कि मैं क्यों डिलीट करूं, मेरा अकाउंट, मैं फिर लॉ स्टूडेंट हूँ, मेरी मर्जी, मैं अब लॉ वाली बन गई थी। ठीक है, मुझे सर के साथ मैंने मिलके उनको मैंने पहले समझाया, कहते हैं कि ना कि प्यार से समझाओ, ना माने तो भूतों के, लातों के भूत होते हैं वो प्यार से नहीं मानते। तो पहले प्यार से समझाया तो नहीं माने, फिर उनको मैंने ऐसे भी बोला कि आई एम अ लॉयर, आई कैन टेक अ लीगल एक्शन अबाउट यू, अगेंस्ट यू, तो वो तब भी नहीं माने। लड़की है क्या ही करेगी, मेवात की है। तो सेल्फी विद डॉटर सुनील जागलान जी थे और टीम थी मेरे साथ, तो मैंने एफआईआर कर दी एक के खिलाफ, क्योंकि फोटोज थे जो मुझे नहीं चाहिए था कि कोई और अकाउंट पे डले। तो सर के साथ मिलके मैंने ये एक्शन लिया। उसके बाद मेरे को बहुत ट्रोल किया गया, अच्छा तू ये बनेगी, तुझे चौधरी बनाएंगे। आपको लैंग्वेज समझ आ रही है मेरी? तो कि तुझे बनाएंगे, ये करेगी, वो करेगी, हमारे समाज को बदनाम करेगी, इस्लाम बन के तो ऐसा करेगी। भाई मैंने तुम्हारा क्या ले लिया और तुम्हें क्या दे दिया? मैंने तुम्हारी इज्जत कहाँ से खत्म कर दी? तुम पिक्चरें देखते हो, वहां पे हीरोइंस नहीं होती हैं, उनको तो तुम बड़ा सपोर्ट करते हो। अगर तुम्हारे समाज की लड़की आगे निकल रही है या फिर अपनी मन की मर्जी से कुछ कर रही है तो तुम्हें उससे क्या प्रॉब्लम है? जब लड़की खुद को मजबूत बना लेती है ना तो सब साथ देते हैं। जब खुद को कमजोर समझेंगे ना तो सब कमजोर समझेंगे और उसको दबाते ही चले जाएंगे, रोनते चले जाएंगे। पहले खुद को बोल्ड बना लो, लोग कुछ भी कहेंगे पर जब तुम एक टाइम पर अचीव कर लोगे कुछ चीज तो फिर कोई कुछ कहने वाला नहीं है.
Social. How did you decide? How did you decide to take up this profession?
It actually just happened by chance. I hadn't thought about it. I just happened to join the company for working on the boat as a sales and marketing person. But then I ended up becoming a lifeguard and then a lifeguard instructor.
So,
It's been
how long is it?
5 years now.
For you? And
Yes,
have you enjoyed
it has
this, right?
been overwhelming.
You know, you were in the news recently as well for this rescue that happened in Goa. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
It was a lady who was very drunk, and she was with her sister, and both of them were in the water, and the sister kept pulling her further into the water instead of bringing her back out, not realizing that she wasn't conscious. So then we had to go in and pull her out.
I know. I guess these are the kind of days that make your profession and your job kind of worthwhile, saving lives. What was the initial reaction to you when you joined from your peers?
So
Those around you?
my instructors, the people I trained with, and the people who trained me, they were always very supportive, and I think they enjoyed having me around because it was something different and it had never happened before. But when I started taking lectures, I remember it used to be really strange because everybody would look at me and say, "Oh, a girl has come to teach us." And most of the people I train in the field are either older than me or they are more experienced in what they do. So it's been a mixture of feelings. The reaction has been good, the response has been good, and now I think they're finally warming up to me after so many years.
Reminds me of that movie Top Gun, right, where the instructor walks in. But I'm not sure as glamorous as that for you. But Ananya, any strains of misogyny, that you've come across in the profession, or the kind of reception?
No, none, not really. With tourists maybe, but not with the people I work with.
And what is your day like? What is a day in the life of Ananya Bhatt right now?
So now that I'm a full-time instructor, it's usually we start off our day with a different training every week. So if it's boat training 1 week, it will be jet ski training the other, or there'll be pool training. So it's always something different. And so we start in the morning, and the morning session is mostly all physical activities till about 1 o'clock. And then the afternoon sessions are all lectures about first aid, or how to ride a boat, or how to ride a jet ski. So the afternoon sessions are all first aid and lectures, but the morning sessions are all in the water.
What is the most challenging part?
The most challenging part is that it's just very hectic. Like, you do tend to get used to it. Like, you get used to it being in the sun, being in the water the entire day, trying to tell people not to do the things that are bad for them, and they don't realize that it's bad for them. So you tend to get used to it, but you don't realize the toll that it takes on you physically as well as mentally. So that, I feel, that is the most challenging part, being there, actually, always on edge that something may go wrong. It can always go wrong with us there. So
yeah, which we've read about as well. Yeah, I mean, the fact that I think that you're constantly sitting and just watching, that could be it could be pretty exhausting in the day, right?
Yes.
Watching.
For the lifeguards, it is. And as instructors, when we are training new people, if it is teaching them how to maneuver a boat, or how to ride the jet ski, you always have the fear of something going wrong. You could have the best team and you could have the best people, still something could go wrong. So there is always a kind of risk in the job, in which that it's either a person is injured a little bit, or the person may lose their life. So it's like that. So it becomes a little overwhelming at times, but I feel that is the most tasking part of our job.
If you enjoyed that talk, and we'll be back again on Thursday